Kia ora and welcome to Tarmac. Today I've got my hands on MG's new ZS EV. It's much improved, got a whole new face and basically just better all around. Come, let's take a look at this. According to MG New Zealand, they're doing pretty well in the EV market, and you can quite see why. They're pretty good looking cars, they're well built and, you know, really easy to understand. And with this latest model, what they're doing is making it even easier to be in the EV market. So actually they're calling it Easy EV. Looking around the front here, they've sort of filled out the grille here, so it now looks more like an EV. And the MG badge, or the new MG badge, takes pride of place up front, and also great little flap for getting the power in there. They've also made the vents a lot sleeker and still got LED lights up front, but overall it's just more of a sleeker EV look and actually EV feel. Round the side, it retains its overall size and shape, which is not a bad thing for this sort of medium, small size SUV. But one of the big things they've made an improvement is these 17-inch alloys, which are now actually very sleek and aerodynamic, with these things that actually pop out, which is quite cool. And nice Michelin rubber to make sure that it runs smoothly across the road. It actually is very quiet. I'll get to that in a while. But like I said, overall, pretty much the same here. In terms of the rear, I think it has been sort of sharpened up a bit. It probably more in the theme of the EV side of things. The tail lights are LED and also they're calling it shadowed. So basically they are a little bit blacked out. Coincidentally, the front lights, or the front LED lights, have actually got a Silverstone circuit feel. What that means, I actually don't know, but there you go. And also, entry to the rear is still via the MG badge, so still got plenty of room back there. Let's see what powers this thing. One of the big improvements to this vehicle is actually the battery capacity and therefore the range. So this now has a 50.3 kilowatt hour battery that actually gives 320 kilometers of range, WLTP. That is actually an improvement of plus 60 kilometers, which is, you know, ample. The battery powers the motor behind here underneath it all, and that's a 130 kilowatt motor, so slightly down on the one before, but still ample power. And speaking of power, this is actually a VTL, so you can actually power your espresso maker and have coffee on the run. Speaking of on the run, let's hop inside and take it for a spin, and I'll show you around the interior while we're there. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice when you're getting into this one, if you haven't driven the old one, is the slight lack of aggressiveness off the mark. It's still not really slow when you get going, but it is, it is less aggressive. Let's put it that way. So those that do love the feel of a massive surge off the mark with an EV, this is less. But then saying that, the ride has improved, the technology, which I'll go through in a minute, is improved, and also the interior is improved. So it's just it is a better vehicle. To go through the interior, the screens are now, there's a massive 10-point-something inch instrument cluster, a 7-point-something inch or 7-inch infotainment screen. So plenty of tech from there. And also, when you are flicking through, there's tons of apps and things like that. For New Zealand, there's two models that we're bringing out, which is basically the Excite and the Essence. We're in the Essence, so it is the top of the range. And with it comes the likes of this class-leading sunroof, so it's massive and just lets all the light come in. And also more tech, more specs as far as driver aids and that sort of stuff. The big thing with this vehicle, it does have lane keep assist, but it's so violent that you'll want to switch it off. To do that, you just enter the screen, go into the vehicle settings, swipe it across and switch it off. I'll show you that now, and you will thank me for that, I'm telling you. Other than that, like I said, it's a really nice, smooth ride. Not very loud, so plenty of NVH have gone on here, and really comfortable. A couple of things that I don't like, or one thing I don't like in particular, is your driving position, which is actually, because the steering wheel doesn't extend out, means that I've always got my arms quite long and arm stretched. So personally, I find it a little bit uncomfortable, but you know, many people are going to find this just fine. The seats themselves are now sort of this leather effect side of things, and also more bolsters. So again, comfortable when you're looking to go around corners, nice. And the trim itself, it's got this soft sort of, what would you call it? Carbon fiber effect going on. So it's pretty nice, and red stitching around, or contrast red stitching around, which is nice. Vents are the same as before, so directing plenty of AC across. But the big thing is the tech. So you really can adapt it to what suits you as far as your driving, you know, as to what excites you about, or in essence, you can basically put on here whatever you like when it comes to information and technology. The battery life, or extended battery life, is obviously a plus. 60 extra Ks is pretty much what New Zealanders would commute on 2 days, I think. So plenty from there, and the fact that it has a vehicle to load capability means if you do go camping with this, or take the family somewhere, you'll be able to plug things in and just do whatever pluggy in things you do. The one thing I will say about charging, I did a 50 kilowatt fast charge, or you know, the free fast charge, because I'm cheap. But basically I got it from 40 something percent up to 80 in half an hour, so not bad from there. Plenty enough to get me to commute wherever I want, so pretty good. So there you have it, the new MG ZS EV. They're calling it Easy EV, and they'd be pretty much right. It looks more like an EV with the front, and with the bigger range or bigger battery means that you can just take it for longer and not worry about charging it so much. It is a little bit lacking in power, or as far as the old one, but I don't think you'll notice, especially if you're driving around town. And for those people that don't really have an extension of their arms, you'll find it driving really well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. See you on the next one.